fill your time and your day with productivity. We spend so much time on our phones anyway. I promise you, 2 hours can go by in like 2 minutes. I don't want to be playing around in mine, because if I play around, yeah, we're gonna be here 3 to 5 business days. They always gonna be down to talk. And so you find those people, oh yeah, it's on. Are you a wife who finds herself with a little bit more time on her hands, but just not sure what to do with it? Maybe you're a wife who works from home, or you don't work from home and you just are out of work at the moment and you don't really have many things to fill your time. Or maybe you are home with the kids and you just, have a little bit more extra time while they're napping, or, while they're occupied doing things outside the home. I don't know where you fit into those categories, but I'm sure that you'll find something here today that will be useful to you. I want to share 10 ways that you can fill your time while you're at home. Whether you are a stay-at-home wife, you are a work-from-home mom, you are a stay-at-home mom, wherever you fit into those rainbow of categories. So keep watching if you're interested, and I'm so excited to share. Hi, my name is Anaiya Stanley. Welcome back, sister. And if you're new here, thank you so much for being here. We talk about everything: faith, family, marriage, womanhood, becoming, and so much more. And I just am so excited that you're here. So today I'm going to share 10 ways that you can fill your time if you have some extra around the home. And a lot of us sometimes find ourselves like scrolling on our cell phones or watching TV or snacking endlessly because we just don't have anything that we want to do with our time. It's not very structured. And so we're coming out of the winter, everything's new and the sun's out and we have that creativity flowing and we have a little bit more energy. So let's use this time and put it towards some things that, will be a nice way to use your time, whether it be with a hobby or a fun new activity. This is something that you can just use, to fill your time, but also if it's something that God is actually calling you to do, you can find ways to use that as well. So I'm going to take you through some points of some things that I've actually done with my free time as I've been out of work for several months and I didn't have anything really to do. I mean, I had limited transportation. I didn't really have anywhere I could go. And so I found a way to occupy my time, not by just, sometimes I would, go on my phone because it's fun, right? We're finding fun videos and we're snacking and we're doing all the things. But after a while, I kind of got old and I know my husband was like, girl, what are you doing? Like, what you doing? And I was like, yeah, I should probably find something that I like to do that's enjoyable, that helps me to grow, that helps me to learn something new, that even when I do finally have children of my own, I can show them new little skills and little, new things that they might be interested in one day. So I want to take us through some of those things. So if you're ready, you can go ahead and grab your journal. You can write down some of these things if you want. And also later when we get to the end of this video, go ahead and don't leave right yet. Just share something that you also do that you like to do with your spare time throughout the home that another woman could benefit from. Okay, so here we go. Number 1, the first thing that you can do when you are by yourself at home and you're not working or anything like that, there aren't too many things that are taking your attention. Maybe your children are asleep, or maybe, nobody's calling you on Skype. Nobody's doing, you have all these little things taking your attention. You can just spend some quiet time with God. You can take your hands and pray, put them together and pray. You can sing and you can worship. You can take out your Bible. You can read a chapter and you can just spend some time with the Lord. Those are some things that are precious moments that if you're a little strapped for time, but you have a little thing, a little sliver of time that you can sneak in, it's nothing like just opening up your word or saying a few words to the Lord and just asking him to help you get through the rest of the day, or just having a quick conversation about what's on your mind. That is a really nice way to use your free time. And I think this conversation is also a larger theme of stewardship, right? Stewardship of your time and what we do with the little bits of the day. I think again, we talked about how you can get so used to scrolling and get on your phone or getting wrapped up in endless emails that 5 and 10 minutes has gone by and the Lord's like, hey, I want to talk to you too. And so, don't ever forget that the Lord is also there in those 30 seconds of your day, those, 10 minutes of your time. He wants to be with you and talk to you and commune with you. And you can do that with those free time, those moments of free time that you have. Number 2, you can learn how to garden. I did this last year And it was the coolest thing ever. I had never grown anything before, and the Lord put on my spirit to like go and just grab an egg carton and get some seeds and just grow some things on your windowsill. And I ended up with a balcony full of tomatoes and flowers and herbs, and it was my first time, and I didn't know that I could do something like that. It takes a lot of diligence and showing up every day, but it's something that stuck with me for a lifetime, because honestly the Lord was like speaking to me throughout the process of me like gardening. And whenever I would have to learn something new, I would run right to YouTube and learn what I gotta learn, write it down if I gotta remember it. And he would start like speaking to me through these little things. Like even with me, like I don't know if you guys have heard of like the term of pruning leaves and like pruning. And like I remember when I was like pruning the leaves, it's like because you had to like take away the leaves that were stealing the nutrients from like the areas that actually had to produce like fruit. And so if you kept them on, it would steal those nutrients. And I was like, man, I feel like Lord, you're showing me these things, and it's helping me to relate like how this connects to my real life, because I have things in my life that I need to cut out that's stealing energy from the areas that you really want me to grow in and to actually produce fruit. And so there's other things that, you know, your hobbies, the Lord can speak to you through your hobbies and through little activities. And so if you're ever like, oh man, I don't have a green thumb, I definitely don't have time to do that or to learn how to do that, you know, give it a try. You might be surprised. And if you try something that's very, very simple, you might get a desire to like get into it a little bit deeper. But it's just something new that you can learn how to do, and I don't regret it at all. Now that I know that I'm entering into a busier season of my life, I decided that I'm not going to do it this year like at the capacity that I did last year, because it was a lot to maintain. But man, like on the days when I didn't have a lot to do and I would wake up and I just went outside to the balcony and was like watering all the plants and all the pretty flowers, and I was eating the fruits that was like growing, I was like, this is so nice, this is so fun. And I just felt like I had something to care for. And like, again, I don't have children right now, but it was that nurturing that was coming out of me that was like, no, like I gotta make sure these things are okay. And when it would get too hot at night, I would water them extra, like a lot more at night. If it got too cold outside, I'd be like, no, we gotta bring them inside. It's just too cold. And you know, that nurturing came out. And so yeah, that's just one thing that you could do. Learn how to garden. Something else you can do, number 3, you can read. And I'm not just saying like, yeah, I talked about reading your Bible, of course, but like there's other things you can read out there. You don't have to just always do that. You can read something else that, you know, maybe a story that you've never, you know, heard of before, or like something that is fiction, nonfiction, biographies, autobiographies. I don't know if you're into sci-fi or if you're into mysteries or, you know, like whodunit type of stuff. Those types of things can really get you, like time can go by and you're like, oh man, like it's time for lunch or it's time for dinner. Like I didn't even know this stuff, but you're having a great time and your imagination is running. You're able to use the parts of your brain that maybe aren't being really engaged because everything you're seeing is just so visual. But when you're reading, you can kind of create images and you know, kind of just imagine, you know, on your own of like what you're seeing and sensing. And yeah, reading in general is just super fun. I feel like libraries don't get enough credit. And so if you're near a local library, you can walk on over and just sit there. They have really nice, I mean, people don't go to the library as much as they could. Like it's so nice in there. And it's not just for kids, it's for adults too. You can go and get a desk or log into a computer and write yourself if you enjoy writing, you know, a story or something like that. And, you know, really just diving into the art of writing and reading and, you know, making your own analysis, maybe even trying to foretell like what's going to happen next chapter, like, and just having fun, you know. And then maybe when your husband comes home, you're like, oh man, like remember, you can't believe what happened with Susie in the woods and she was doing, and he's like, girl, what? Who is that? It's like, yeah, it was in chapter 5. And she said it, like, it just creates something else that you can dream or desire or just fantasy. I don't know, something, but it's fun and something that you can do if you have some free time. Number 4, you can learn a new recipe. When I was home and not working as much, I spent so much time cooking, not because I felt like, oh, I have to cook because I'm staying at home and you got to do da-da-da. No, I genuinely was getting into cooking. I would find a nice cookbook or I would find a nice recipe online. You know, people be doing little stuff on TikTok or little stuff on Reels and you're like, oh, I want to try that. And you have the time to do it. And honestly, who's gonna know if it didn't turn out right? It's just you. So if it ain't turning out right, you can just throw it away, act like it never happened, and try again tomorrow. And it's great. If you're a wife, a mom, and or a businesswoman, I wanted to let you know that I'm actually the owner of Become 31, who's serving women just like you who need practical day-to-day care to help you steward the things that God has given you. I offer babysitting services, cleaning services, meal prep services, and so much more. If you are in the DMV and this sounds like something you need, please go to the description box to find the link that will take you to my website, www.become31.com. I'm offering Christian-based care rooted in God's love. I can't wait to serve you. Now back to the video. And I love the fact that like recipes now are just like so, you can find something that's like just for you. So like if you want to just type in, what can I do with this in my fridge, this in my fridge, this in my fridge, and it creates a whole recipe for you. You can use a little chat GPT. You can use it. Hey, what can I do with this box of pasta? You know what I'm trying to say. And you can just have some fun with creating new recipes and, the art of cooking and, using different spices and herbs. Like if you are, not even, and I think I even missed this category. If you're someone who's not even a wife or you're not even, and you're a woman and you're trying to learn some new skills, right? Like for your future family, for your future husband, this is the perfect time to do that. If you're not working or you have some extra time off of work and you want to go ahead and find some things that, you can get into, try cooking, exercise that muscle because you're going to have to feed some people when it's time to, it's coming. And so this is a great time to, do those little things that you have time to do and explore before people get picky and have opinions about what you put on the table. Number 5, decorate your home. You can put up some new curtains, some new pictures. Spruce up your couch with some new pillows, maybe remake your bed and, freshen that up, go into your bathroom and change out the soap dispenser, do something fun, like, spruce it up in there, figure out a new layout for how you want your shelves to look. Maybe find, and it doesn't mean like you have to like go out and buy new stuff. Again, if you're limited on transportation like I was, I just move things around. And that's where when people come over, they were like, is this new? I'm like, no, but it's in a new spot. And that's all that matters. And it just looks different. It looks new, it looks fresh, and it adds a new, like, one thing about it, me and my husband, we're gonna turn that house around. We're gonna move everything around probably like 4 or 5 times a month. And so like everything is never gonna be in the same place. And that's what I love about like how we do things. We are very like, we don't like things to be the same way all the time. We want to switch the dimensions and switch the, how certain things look and feel. And it just shifts the atmosphere. Honestly, like if you find yourself in a stagnant place and you're like, oh man, I don't have anything to do. Maybe you need to do something different. Change the way your bed faces. Change how your entryway looks. Like what are some things that just indicate newness? Like I can do something different. You have that power, you have that control. You don't have to feel like you can't, and you'll feel good. And if you want to order something to the house, you don't have to leave the house. You can order it. Now make sure the budget is there because we can get a little, with the retail therapy, okay? But if it makes sense, you can make a whole plan on Pinterest. There's certain platforms you can do. You can make like layouts of your home. You can take pictures and like put little layouts of your home and what it could look like. And just imagine like how things could look different. Number 6, we talked about you maybe rearranging your space, but you could also declutter your space. Get rid of some things that you don't need. Now, this can take a lot of time. And so if you have some free time, it is a good moment to go ahead and go into a closet, go into a pantry, go into a bin, and just dump it out. Look at what needs to be there, what doesn't need to be there, and get it out of there. If you don't need it, throw it away. If it's gently used or if it can be repurposed, donate it. And if it's just torn to shreds, expired, or just not looking right, you can throw it away. It's fine. Like, nobody's gonna come and hunt you down. I mean, unless it's like the sustainability police. But like, you don't have to worry about that. Just do what helps you feel more free. You know, especially with clutter, it can also play a role in like you feeling stagnant or not able to like really feel like, okay, what should I do? You know, and it's like, because maybe you don't have a place you feel like you can start. You can start by getting rid of things, and then sometimes that can create open space for you to do new things. So yeah, consider decluttering, play some worship music, go ahead and like play your favorite songs, open up the windows, get nice and bright, and just get energized to do that. And I promise you, 2 hours can go by in like 2 minutes. Number 7, manage your home. Finances, admin, anything that's very like schedule-y, behind on the back end, you know, bookkeeping, inventory type of stuff. Like if you have to schedule any appointments for yourself, for your husband, for your children, if you know something's coming up and you got to do some, you know, planning about like, okay, who's going to be with who and who should childcare for this and da da da. Take a couple minutes and just write that stuff down. It will save you some time, you know, because those little things, it may take like 1 to 2 minutes here, but it adds up. And so if you can do that like for weeks in advance, months in advance, you'll find yourself like being ready to go when those days come. And so even when it comes to like bills and stuff, like you can go ahead and take a quick look at your finances, see where you guys are at. Maybe think about like some savings goals and finances goals. You have the perfect amount of time to like just sit down and where money has been going, where it's coming from, and you know where you're getting your increase and all that stuff. And you know, this is a really good way, using your spare time to look at your finances is a really good way to get ahead, and so that you're not like always just like wondering where are things going, where are things coming. And so maybe sitting down and, you know, doing some accounting, like, or some type of like taking inventory of your finances, organizing finances, receipts, you know, getting your taxes done in advance for next year and preparing for that. Like, well, how could you be better prepared? Maybe finding a filing system, and just, you know, making sure that things are in order as you should as a wife, and as a woman that is leading her home. You know, you should, you know, try to get a head start so that everything's not like so super confusing when the time comes. But if you have the time, if not, I mean, you're gonna find a way to make it happen. Everything's gonna get done anyway. But when you can get ahead, it just kind of saves the stress from later on of like trying to figure it out all at once. So yeah, maybe give that a try. Number 8, give someone a call. We spend so much time on our phones anyway. Just give someone a call. It could be someone you haven't talked to in a while, a family member. You could send voice notes to your husband. You can send, you know, your friends little texts. And, you know, I know obviously everybody's like busy, but they'll get to it. You know, you don't have to feel like you have to have a whole conversation. But for people who are around, you could give a call and just chat. It doesn't have to be like a scheduled meeting. Like you are talking about the deliverables and all of that. Just have a conversation where you're just talking about like, what's going on with you? What are they doing over there? What y'all doing? How you feeling? Like, you know, and it just ends up being like a good laugh, and you just end up like learning something new or hearing about the latest with your friends and like what they have. And it just becomes something that's like light and it's easy and there's no strings attached. Like I gotta like submit something. It's just, you're giving a friend a call. You're giving a family member a call. Check in. Life is really short, and honestly, hearing someone's voice nowadays is just such a privilege, like just to be able to do that. And so if you're finding yourself on your phone, just, you know, say, hey, like I was thinking about you. I just wanted to check in. How are you? Do you have a few minutes to talk? And then it's like, yeah, about what? Well, whatever you want to talk about, like whatever comes up. And it just becomes something that's fun. And, you know, you look forward to talking to each other. Like I spent so much time, and I still do, but I'm really happy about this. I spend so much time like talking to my mom. I have to call her and I'm like, hey, like what you doing? And she's like, yeah, girl, I'm doing this and that. I'm in my garden too. And I got this and that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like let me see your tomatoes. And it just so fun, you know, we're just talking, and it's nothing like just having that like kick your feet up type of conversation where you could just talk on the phone and lose the time. It's like, girl, it's been 3 hours. Okay, I'll talk to you later. And it's just, you know, and so that is fun. You can do that. Don't feel like you always have to be like, oh, like hope they like don't think I'm annoying, or it's okay. You should check in first if you know they're working, like if they're working women or working family members or whatever, and you check in and say, hey, like, you busy? But then there's some people who like they always gonna be down to talk, and so you find those people, oh yeah, it's on FaceTime any time of the day, anytime, nighttime, morning time, y'all having a good time. So yeah, do that, try that out, call someone. Number 9, try a new hairstyle. Like, y'all see, I have a lot of hair. It is thick and it's curly, and I'm always doing different things with it. And this is someone, if you actually have like that desire to want to do your own hair, because some people don't, they're just like, I don't want to be playing around in mine. Because if I play around, yeah, we're going to be here for 3 to 5 business days. Like, ain't no time to play around. What we playing for? What we playing for? But if you want to like experiment with like wash day and like some fun curly hair routines, if you have curly hair, or if you have like straight hair, you want to try blowouts or curly rods or whatever, like you want to try something new. If you have some free time and you don't mind, like, go ahead and pop on a movie and just go ahead and start going to town and finding some new things. There are so many videos now on YouTube, like YouTube University, natural hair community and all that. I'm not just, if you don't have natural hair, you have different hair, but I'm saying like there's just so many tutorials online for you to learn how to do any type of hairstyle. I don't care what type of hair you have. And it's just something fun, and it doesn't have to be stressful. I think that we have to also relearn like our relationship with our hair and beauty and stuff, because beauty is pain, right? But like it really shouldn't be painful. It should be something that you can do and you feel good about learning something new, or a certain way you like to look. So yeah, find a new hairstyle you want to try. Like maybe you want to learn how to cornrow. I wasn't born with the cornrow gene. If you know how to cornrow, let me get some of that, because I really don't know how y'all got that. But I'm trying to figure out, okay, so anyway, but in my spare time, I'm gonna learn how to cornrow. So you could do that. You could do that. If you don't know how to cornrow, you could cornrow. And, find something new that you can do that is like a skill that you'd be proud of, or a new hairstyle, like, oh man, like I look so cute. I love this. And it's just for you. It's for nobody else, just for you. All right, and number 10. This is my final point. It's something that you can do. And this might be a little like, not controversial, but like, well, why would I wait all this time just for him to come? But number 10, what you can do is prepare for your husband to come home. Meaning you're cleaning yourself up, you're prepping yourself, you might do a little hair, you might do a little, skin, you smell a little good, you got the house is nice and tidy, and you have a meal made, and you're just preparing for the transition for a wonderful rest of your day with your husband. It doesn't instantly mean like you're about to I'm not saying like it just means you preparing for something to go down, but meaning like you're just preparing to give him your attention. I think one thing I didn't do all that well, but I've learned is that like when my husband comes home, I don't want to be so occupied with something else that it's like I don't give him any of my attention, and it's like, man, I'm busy. Like, don't you see I'm playing with my tomatoes? Like, like move. And I don't want to do that. So like I will do that, in the top of the day, and then he comes home, and it's like, okay, now I have my 5 hours with you, because it's not that much time. I really want to make sure that I'm giving him some attention, and that attention, I want it to be nice and pleasant. I don't want to be feeling like I've been sitting on the couch all day. Even if I was, it's my business. But I just need to make sure that like he is ready to receive me, I'm ready to receive him, and whatever happens, and you're ready for it. So those are all the points that things you can do that fill your time and your day with productivity. And one bonus one I'll give is, if God has given you a vision or called you to do something, you can work on that idea. You can co-work with a friend, you can call someone, you guys can hold each other accountable with that vision. You can sit at home at your desk and work on the vision on your phone or your laptop or whatever, and work on the vision. Pray over the vision. Ask God to give you more confirmation for what it is that he wants you to do. Because whether it be a ministry, a business, a product, a service, like this is something that should be given as much time and attention as anything else, because he gave it to you and he's trusting you with it. So I would say that those are 10 things that you can do, plus one bonus for a woman who is at home looking for a little bit more purpose in her day to day. So excited to just have this conversation with you, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. All right, bye.